Definitely is some weird going on here. There's this doll just kind of attached and hanging from this tree. We do what looks like have a broken Mando sign there. I don't know. It's definitely a little weird. Now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at one of West Michigan's newest courses, and that is the Sweet Spot Disc Golf Course in Ravenna. And we're starting off with a very beautiful hole 1, 289 feet. You can go to the left or right of those trees in the middle of the fairway down there. We are going to take the right side, hopefully get a nice little flip up with our truth. Hold the line. All right, I think that was a really good shot. Let's get started. We didn't quite hit our line, but regardless, a very good start. Hole 2, we have a blind one. It looks like it's a 192-foot hyzer shot. As you can see, we are throwing into the opening in the woods up there. It looks like we have a pretty big hill. I'm guessing we just want to barely crest the top of it and get a left finish. So we are going to go with our Rhino. Oh, be perfect. Oh, that might just be perfect. I'm gonna be really bummed if we walk up there and the basket's nowhere near where we thought. You love to see it. I'll be honest, this hole is really simple, but it's also very easy to get in trouble. You have water and swamp on both sides. You could catch a nasty roll away. A lot trickier than it looks. Hole 3, it's only 231 feet. This is kind of a tricky shot. You want to hang straight for quite a while and then get a very slight ante. The basket is blind, but I'll tell you, this course does a good job of putting tall flags on top of the basket, but we are going to full send the Waka Waka. Yeah, that was not good. That was not great. We released that a little early. We should be able to get up and down for our par though. We have left ourselves a pretty fun, probably 52-foot downhill putt. You have to admit the pin locations are good. I love that they're very close to the water, but it looks like if you have a disc that lands in there, it should be pretty easy to get it back. Hopefully we can knock this one down to keep our hot streak going. Nope, come on. I knew I let that go a little soft. We were close. As you guys can tell, today's video is not full of a bunch of goofy comedy, all that kind of craziness. When I get to these courses that are just so beautiful and so peaceful, it just kind of calms me down. I like to just focus on the game, focus on nature, and bring you guys along for the ride. Hole 4, this one's kind of a tunnel shot. As you can see, it is dead straight, 309 feet. This shot would probably suit up better for the truth, but I want to get some more reps with our PFN champion leopard. Well, hopefully that slid a good ways, because that was a classic dirt throw. Well, after a very lackluster drive, we can go with a big hyzer putt or an ante putt. I would guess this to be about 65 feet away. I'm gonna go with the ante putt, and we're gonna full send the hammer. Oh, not a bad little run. Hole 5, it's only 172 feet. The basket is tucked off to the right a little bit, but if you just land dead straight, you'll be fine. We are gonna full send the Waka Waka. Oh, I think I threw that too hard. Hit something? All right, we hit something. Hopefully we can knock that putt down. Well, I would definitely call this a unique place to have a basket. Regardless, we got a great tree kick with the Waka Waka. I think we would have sailed into the swamp, so we'll gladly take it. Hole 6, it's 305 feet. It looks like it is an absolute horseshoe off to the left. I assume that this pin is very hard to reach off the tee shot. We are gonna try to take this more inside lane that I think is there with our scepter. Oh, no skip, but we did hit that inside lane that we were looking for. Not the worst drive in the world, but not the best either. We have left ourselves a very long putt, 80 feet for the 2. Oh, you know, I'll take that. For the par, obviously we have to address this. I want to know what your guys' opinions are on the toilet being out here. I'm pretty torn on this one. This place is just so peaceful, beautiful, quiet. I feel like the toilet just kind of takes away from that. I don't know. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of it. It does add some character, you could say, but you guys let me know. Hole 7, very gorgeous ace runnable hole. It's only 169 feet, dead straight, throwing through that little arch, so we do have a low ceiling. We are gonna full send our Envy. Oh. Perfect line, just didn't have any guts to it. Very low dirt throw. That low ceiling is tricky. It does mess with your mind though. For the 2, hole 8, and this is a weird one. It's 423 feet. I see this very narrow, what looks like walking gap going through the woods up there. It's probably really swampy. I'm not sure if that's the route you're supposed to go, or just throw a huge hyzer down the road, which would obviously be easier, but we will try to go up the gut, see what we find up there. We are just gonna full send our Envy. Should land right in that opening. Oh, well, we did catch a low branch, but let's go find out. I'm not even sure if that's the fairway. So this is the route we're supposed to go. The road would be fun just to have one hole here where you could really air the arm out. We're still 211 feet away. You need a perfect placement shot to be able to attack this basket. We're just gonna pick our Envy up, send it down there, hopefully get a birdie. All right, we got a ways up there. I couldn't quite see the end of our flight path, but let's go find it. The Envy worked out as good as we could have hoped. It is a fun hole. It's a fun little placement shot, par 4. I'm not mad about it. Hole 9, 249 feet. You want to hang dead straight, get through this initial gap, and then I think you want a pretty strong right finish. So we are going to full send our Skeeter. Oh, Hunter, throw it in the air. My goodness. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. Well, after our tee shot getting us about halfway to the pin, we have left ourselves a very long and tricky Annie shot. We are gonna full send the Waka Waka. Oh, a little early. I tell you what, this is definitely not a hole that you want to catch a hyzer through that gap. That is all river, very sneaky. In today's hole 9 break, I want to ask you guys a simple but yet not so simple disc golf question. And that is, as of right now, who do you think is the GOAT? Obviously, I think the first name that comes to mind is Ken Climo with 12 World Championships, 5 US DGC, 3 Japan Open, and a European Open Tour win as well. That is quite the accolades, but the argument could be made that back when he turned pro in 1988, the competition just was not near anything it is today. Up next, we have the man himself, Mr. Paul McBeth. 6 World Championships, a handful of European Open Championships, and an Aussie Open Championships, as well as a million other career wins. This is where the argument comes into play, because when you compare the stats, he's amazing, but nowhere near Ken Climo's. Or is the GOAT not showing its face yet? And is it one of these up-and-coming youngsters like Anthony Barella or Gannon Buhr? I would love your guys' opinions. There's a lot to talk about on this topic, so I'm open to any conversations that you guys want to start in the comment section. One thing I do quickly want to bring up is the fact that some of these topics are pretty complex, and then I smash them all down to try to fit in a hole 9 break. And one thing that has periodically gone through my mind throughout my time at Tossing Plastic is if I should maybe once a week, once every other week, go live on a scheduled day, and that way people can hop in the chat. We can really dive deep into some disc golf conversation. If that might interest you guys, please let me know. I would not mind doing it, especially being on the road. You might see me sitting in some very strange places. Hole 10, we have this tricky shot. We have to throw out of the tunnel. The basket's tucked way out there in the field under the trees. It appears that we have lost the footages on the signs, but the rangefinder has it about 295 feet. We are gonna full send our champion leopard. Oh, I hope that branch didn't take away all of our steam. I can't even lean out there and block the tracer. Let's go see where we ended up. It felt good though. I'm very happy that that branch did not take away too much of our distance. Hole 11, the rangefinder has it at 242 feet. It looks like we just want a slight ante the entire way, very low ceiling going into the woods there. We're gonna need some ground play or a little luck to make it to the pin. We are gonna full send our Envy. Hold the line. Oh. I mean, it felt like a perfect throw. We did hit some of that low ceiling up there. I'm not sure where we ended up. I'm really happy that these low-hanging branches did not take away from our good drive. Hole 12, the rangefinder has it at 225 feet. It does say something about a Mando, but I don't see any indication of it. There is a blue sign up there. I'm not sure what it's telling us, but we are just gonna hit that initial gap right in front of us, hopefully get a nice left finish with our Rhino. All right, that should leave ourselves a long putt. Like I said, we may have missed the Mando, but I don't know where it is. This tree did stop us from getting some nice ground play towards the basket, leaving us a pretty long tester putt, probably around 40 feet for the 2. Oh, not a great putt. Hole 13, the rangefinder has it at 214 feet, I believe. It is getting pretty overgrown. The basket's tucked up on the side of the hill. If it was the fall or something, I think that there'd be a really fun kind of sky hyzer route to go for. We are just gonna disc up to the Kotuku, throw it into the side of the hill, and hopefully leave ourselves a putt. Oh, wow. First real big tree hit of the day. That's gonna be a tough spot to get up and down from. We have left ourselves in a very tricky situation. We have to go with a turnover sidearm shot, but we have almost no ceiling to work with. We are gonna try this brand new Kia that our buddy Boots gave to us. If you guys have been following along, my Kia is getting way too straight. It's not really fitting into the bag anymore, so hopefully this one works out a little better. All right, we hit a tree, it's trash. Boots, you can have it back. We have left ourselves a very tricky situation to try to save our par. We have about 35 feet way uphill for the 3. Oh, no way. That was such a good putt. I thought for sure that was gonna stay in. I do wanna give a huge shout out to Sweet Spot for dumping a bunch of time, effort, and money into making this course what it is. Ravenna was definitely in need of a course. Sweet Spot is the local store in the Muskegon, Michigan area. I've only gone in there a few times because, as you guys know, I'm not a big new disc buyer, but every time I go in there, they're very helpful. They've helped me with the Zuka cart, any questions I have. Just at the end of the day, you gotta love and give respect to your local disc golf shops. Hole 14, this is another absolutely crazy hole. As you can see, we have lost tee pads. It is, I can't put into words how uphill this shot is. I just see a flag sticking up there. I assume the basket's underneath it. I have no idea how long we have. There's a million trees in the way. If we hit any of them, we're probably gonna roll somewhere very far away, but we're just gonna take our scepter, rip it on a sidearm, hopefully get a little lucky. We hit our gap. And we caught some branch. Here comes the disc. There, hopefully you guys can see that. Felt like a really good shot, hit something little. I'm not sure what we're gonna do from there. Alrighty, so here's where we landed. This is one of the slipperiest lies I've ever had. I can no longer see the flag up there on the basket. I'm just gonna try to get some little hyzer shot up there on this gap to my right, hopefully save our par. All right, we caught a tree, but we stayed up there. The disc stayed up there. You guys let me know, do you think that is a very fun and just well-designed hole? Do you think it's a badly designed, too much throw and hope, crazy rollaway potential? I would love to see your guys' opinion in the comments. Hole 15, this is a super wacky hole. It's 170 feet, the smallest tunnel you've ever seen. These holes usually are a lot of fun for me, but I think now that I'm filming, there's no way that I can throw this shot without blocking the camera. So I am gonna go with a little kind of unorthodox throw style. Probably gonna hinder our chances of hitting the gap, but if we do, hopefully you guys can actually see it. All right, I immediately got out of the way. I didn't hear anything. Hopefully we made it up there. Envy did sneak its way up here for us, but we have left ourselves a tricky putt. We are directly in line with these two trees. Can go for a little hyzer putt or a little Annie putt. I tend to like the Annie putts a little bit more. Hole 16, it's 170 feet. I'm sure you guys cannot see much. It is a meat hook right, so we are gonna full send our Waka Waka. Oh, that's too deep, I'm sure. Oh, well, we caught a tree up there. Probably gonna be a long putt. The Waka Waka did not turn out too bad, leaving ourselves probably an edge of circle putt for the two. Man, that's the second one today that looked pretty good. I need to very quickly bring something to your guys' attention because this is important. If you struggle with mobility at all, you need to keep that in mind when coming here. The Sweet Spot Disc Golf Course has quite a bit of up and down climbs, and when it's wet out like it is today, it is very, very slippery. I've almost slipped a few times myself, but just please keep that in mind if you want to come check this course out. Hole 17, it's 171 feet. There is this kind of lane cut out, but the basket is off to the left. This definitely has a throw and hope vibe to it. We're just gonna take our Kia, rip it down this lane, and hopefully it crashes left at the right time. Nope. Sure wasn't. We got a pretty bad tree kick way off to the right. Let's see what we are left with. So the Kia has left us with a very tricky straddle putt, probably around 45 to 50 feet for the two. It just noodle armed it, didn't commit to that putt at all. And that wraps up our very interesting day here at the Sweet Spot Disc Golf Course. We have hole 18. This is a very gorgeous looking fairway, but it looks like it's getting smaller by the minute as these trees continue to grow. I have no idea where the basket is. It looks like we just want a big hyzer shot, so I am gonna full send our Kotuku. All right, I'm gonna guess that's way too straight, but let's go find out. Well, our suspicions were right. We absolutely crushed this disc past the basket. We definitely needed to go with probably the Kia or maybe even the Rhino, but this does leave us a chance to end on a good note. We don't get to pull that off very often here on Tossing Plastic. This is probably about 75 feet. Oh, the wind. That was one of the worst ways to end here on Tossing Plastic. And that wraps up today's video at the Sweet Spot Disc Golf Course in Ravenna, Michigan. And guys, without question, the biggest selling point to this course is how jaw-droppingly beautiful it is from hole 1 to hole 18. And right off the bat, I'm gonna say that Sweet Spot Disc Golf Course is not going to receive a rating today. This course is only about a year old, I believe. It obviously still needs a ton of work. I'm not sure how invested they are gonna get into building this course, but the tee signs are just 2x4s. About halfway through, the footage fell off. A little while after that, the tee pads disappeared. There's still a lot of work in progress to be done, and I don't want to give it a score. I want to give it a little time. Guys, disc golf courses take a lot of time to put together and to iron out all the details. Another thing that does set this course apart is some of the extremely unique holes. The very tight tunnel shot tree alley hole, that crazy uphill hole. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but nonetheless, there are holes that you are going to remember. I'll be honest, the first 5 holes that I played of this course, I was completely blown away. They're so beautiful, they're well designed, they're amazing holes. As you kind of get later into the round, it has that very Michigan State Park disc golf vibe. It's kind of hard to put it into explanation unless you've seen it. If you've watched my videos, you know what I mean. It kind of gets cluttered. A lot of the holes just feel like throwing hope, more or less. As everything keeps growing, the fairways keep getting smaller and smaller, and it gets a little difficult to play them. The course is fun. I do worry about water as well. It hasn't been raining too much here in Michigan lately, and it is soaked. It is very muddy in the front 9. There's a lot of water hazards, which I love. I'm all for water hazards, but these are just things to keep in mind. As you guys can see, this course does require quite a few different shot shapes to lay down a good score, but honestly, for this one, I'm gonna let the video do most of the talking. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.